Good morning. Today we have a shoulder workout for you, and we're going to work on the front delt, the side delt, and the rear delt. Okay, so there's 3 exercises that we're going to do. We're going to do these for 8 reps for each exercise, and we're going to do three rounds of each of those sets. We're going to have a little rest in between as well. So the first thing obviously that we need to do is warm ourselves up. So put your dumbbells to one side, and then we're just going to sit nice and comfortably. You can either sit on your heels like this or just sit, cross-legged. We're going to bring our hands out in front of us, bring our hands to the side, to the front, to the side, up to the ceiling, down to the side, in front of us, up to the ceiling, and we're just going to keep doing those circles, okay? Nice big circles in front. Getting a full range of motion all the way to the top, out and back again. Okay, stand on your feet. We're going to slowly rotate the shoulders back in circles. Rotate them forward. We're going to put our hands out in front. We're going to rotate those wrists. Other way. Rotate the elbows. Other way. And then we're going to go back to rotating our shoulders. Big circles this time. Stop at the top. One forward, one back. Stop at the top. Change direction. Okay, now swing our arms from left and right. Let's get this blood pumping. Whew. All right, from here, stand nice and tall, have your elbows up in a 90-degree angle like this. And what we're going to do is just rotate to one side, keeping our feet firmly on the ground. Rotate to the other side. Keep doing that. One. To the other side now. We're just slowly waking up our joints, waking up our muscles. Okay, now on the next rotation, I want you to lift the heel up of the back foot, just so we've got a little bit more range of motion, and we're able to look at the back of the room. Okay. Standing nice and tall, put our hands on our hips. Imagine you've got a nice square box and you want to hit every corner when you're going around and rotating your hips, okay? Change direction. I am clicking this morning. Whew. All right, from here, we're going to bring our hands into a diamond shape like this. We're going to go all the way up, looking through the diamond, all the way to the ceiling, all the way back down. Hinge at the hips. Go all the way to the bottom, as far as you can. And then from here, we're going to sway from one side to the other. Okay, bring ourselves up to the top, put our hands out in front of us. We've got one hand over the other hand now. bring that arm up, right? So we're just in front of the elbow here, and we're going to pull it to one side. As we're pulling it to one side, we want to look at the wall. Okay, switch arms. So this one goes on top, that one comes under, and we're pulling that away. Okay, right. Now we're going to just warm up the rotator cuffs and the other areas of the shoulder. So put your hands in a 90-degree angle like this to your sides. Bring them to the side here and then squeeze in. So your elbows are beyond the back here. You're squeezing that in. And then forward. Back, squeeze, and then forward. Back, squeeze, and then forward. Now we're just going to do this without squeezing. We're just going to go all the way back and forward like this a few times. Just going to wake up that joint. Woo. Okay, so now we've done our warm-up. We're now going to work on the front raises. We're going to do those first. So what I'll do is I'll just explain how the exercise works, and then we'll go ahead and do it. So for this, you want to have relatively light weights. Okay, this is not ego lifting whatsoever. Okay, standing up, have your weights facing the front, right? So this means your palms are facing your sides, yes? Okay, what we're going to do nice and slow, we're going to bring one arm up right to the top. We're not going to change, we're not going to rotate, it's just going to go all the way to the top here. We're going to stop at shoulder level. We're not going to go beyond this, we're just going to stop there, and then we're going to bring that back. Okay, the next one, we're going to go all the way to shoulder level, hold it for a few seconds, and then go all the way back down. Okay, so I'm going to go for 8 reps. If you can't do 8 reps, go for something like 6 or 5. That's perfectly fine. If you find that you're swinging like this, then you need to lower the weight. Okay, everything needs to be controlled movements here. Again, like I said, this is not ego lifting. Okay, this is working specifically on those isolated shoulder muscles. Okay, so we're going to start. 1, right to the top here. Weight, bring it down. 2, hold it and down. 3, hold it and down. 4, hold it and down. 5, 6, 7, 8, so we're halfway because we're doing 1 on each side. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, last set of reps, 15, and the last one, 16. Okay, put the weights down. Here, what I would like you to do is just take a couple of minutes to just relax your arms, shake them off if you need to. Circle, we're going to rest for another minute, okay? And whilst we're resting, I'm going to talk about what we're going to do next. So we've just done our raises. This is working on the front delt, right? We're now going to work on our side delts. So the front delt is this delt here. The side delt is obviously on the side of the shoulder. And to do that, we need to bring the dumbbells up, okay? But we don't want to lock our elbows out. If we do that, we're going to risk injury. What we want to do is bring our elbows in slightly. Imagine you're carrying 2 big bags, and we want to lift with our elbows as we go. Have a slight bend, not a dramatic bend, but a slight bend in your waist if you need to. And again, if you are struggling with this, then please do lower your weights. No ego lifting here. I've said that many times. So let's get started. Grab hold of your dumbbells. Put your feet hip width apart. Slight bend in the shoulders. You want to have your dumbbells facing like we had before. And then we go 1 up and we hold 2. Remember that we are traveling up with our elbows. Going for 2 now. 2 and up. And we stop at shoulder height. 3. 4. 5. 6. 2 more. You've got this. 7. Last one. 8. There we go. And down. It's very useful if you could see yourself in a mirror, or as I'm doing, I'm able to see in the camera, because what you don't want to do is bring these all the way up, okay? They need to stop. Your elbows need to stop at shoulder level, okay? All right, again, we're gonna take another break, and then we'll get on to the last set in this round, okay? So the last set, we've just done some lateral raises. That works the side delts. We're now going to work on the rear delts. So this means that this whole workout has done all those 3 delts. So the rear delt for this, what we need to do, it's a little bit more involved. So don't worry if you get this wrong. Rewatch the video to improve your form. So we want to bend at about 45 degrees, 45 to 70 degrees. Okay, so there's a bend in your back here. We're hinging with our hips. Make sure that your back is nice and straight. It's very important that your back is nice and straight. Okay, we're going to have our dumbbells in the same position we had before. So they're facing outwards like this. So not here. So palms facing the sides. And this is called a reverse dumbbell fly. So from here, we're going to go up and back, up and back. And you'll feel it in your scapula, in your back here. And a good cue for this is, imagine you've got a walnut in your back and you're trying to crush it with your shoulder blades, okay? Trying to crush it with your shoulder blades. Okay, so pick up your weights. I'm going to go in this position here. I'm going to go slight angle on. So from here, we're going to hinge with our hips. Okay, make sure the back is nice and straight. Bring the dumbbells together so the palms are facing each other like this. Slight bend in the elbow, looking straight forward, and then up and stop here. Bring it down. There's 1. Up. 2. Crush that walnut. 3. 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Last one. I'm going to go for 9. 9. There we go. Brilliant. Okay, again, let's have a rest. I know I should have only done 8, but we did 9. Well done if you did 9. So we have now just worked on the rear delts, the side delts, and the front delts. So it's a full shoulder deltoid workout today. Okay, so we've got 30 seconds left, and then we'll go into our front raises again. And remember, we are stopping at shoulder height here. And I know in the previous shoulder class we had a rotation at this point, but we're not. We're just going to hold it static. It's really important to have the static hold for about 1 to 2 seconds before you bring it down. And when we bring it down, we don't just let the weight drag it down. We do it nice and controlled, okay? If you're swinging and if that's coming down really fast, that is an indication that you have got too much weight because you're not able to control it on the way down, on the negative. Okay, all right. So let's get started. Grab the weights. Put them to your side. Okay, right. So we're going to start on, I'm going to start on the right side. So to bring this up, hold it, bring it down, nice and controlled. There we go. Hold it. Okay, that's 1. Up for 2, hold it, and down. Another one, up for 2, hold it, and down. Up for 3, hold it, and down. Up for 4, hold it, and down. Up for 5, hold it, and down. Up for 6, hold it, and down. Up for 7, hold it, and down. And again, hold it, and down. Last one. Up for 8, hold it there, and down. Up for the 8 for the last one, hold it there, and down. Well done, everyone. Okay, so put the weights on the ground. Let's have a little bit of a rest. So it's important that we don't put any rotations in at this stage, because what I want to do is just focus on the isolated muscles here. We can put in some dynamic movements at some other point. I know we did that last week, but this week I just want to focus on getting the actual form correct. Excuse me. Take a sip of water if you need to. The next one is the lateral raises, okay? So again, I'll just go through how we do this. So feet in a parallel stance like so, slight bend, not as dramatic as the flies that we did, but there's just a slight bend in the hips here, and we've got slight bend in the elbows, and we're bringing them up and then back, up and back, and we are traveling with the elbows first. We're not traveling with the weight. We're not bringing the weight up. Yeah, so can you see that? We're not doing this at all. So the wrist needs to be in a nice neutral position, and the elbows are slightly bent, and we are bringing this up like this. Elbows need to be higher than the wrist, okay? All right, so, oops, let me hit that. Right, so what we're going to do, grab the weight, get into our slight bend, holding the weights like so. We're going to go for 1, up and down, 2, up and down, 3, up and down, 4, up and down, 5, up, hold it and down, 6, hold it, up and down, 7, hold it, up and down, last one, 8, up and down. Well done. Put those down. Okay, so again, let's have a little bit of a rest, and then we'll get into our reverse flies. So the reverse flies, there's a bigger hinge, yes? There's a bigger hinge on your hips. You're down here, and you've got your chest nice and open, and you are opening, doing this. Imagining that you've got a walnut in your on the back here, and you are trying to squeeze it, crush it, as you open up your chest. Okay, so we'll start in 20 seconds. Shake it off if you need to. Whew. Whew. All right, let's grab onto the weight. I'm going to come this side now, so I'll show you what it looks like on this angle. So feet around hip width apart, hip hinge with your hips, keeping your back nice and straight. Okay, touch the dumbbells if you want to, give them a kiss like that. Right, and then up, hold down, up, hold down, up, hold down, up, hold down. I think that's 3. Up, hold down. We'll go for 4. Up, hold and down. That's 5. This is 6. Whew. 7. Last one. 8. There we go. That is 8. Well done. Put the weights down. Give yourself a bit of a rest. So that was the last set of that round. We have the final round coming up, which is exactly the same as the first 2. So again, front raises, lateral raises, and reverse dumbbell flies, okay? That is the plan. But at this stage, you may be, as I'm feeling rather fatigued right now, so certainly bring on some fluids and give yourself a bit of a rest. Bring that heart rate back down. Also, bring an awareness as to where in your body you're actually feeling these exercises. Are you feeling them in the shoulders? Are you feeling them in the lower back? Because if you're feeling them in the lower back, then it means that your form isn't quite right, okay? Okay, so let's crack on. We've got the last set to do. Grab the dumbbells. Again, front raisers here. So we're just going to crack straight into it. You know what to do. Raise it up, hold it there, bring it down. Raise it up, hold it there, bring it down. That's 1. Raise it up, hold, bring it down. Raise it up, hold, and bring it down. That's 2. Up, hold, down, up, hold, down. That's 3. Up and hold, and down, up and hold, and down. That's 4. So we're halfway. Well done. Up and hold for 5. And down. Again, up and hold for 5. And down. Next one, up and hold. And down. Up and hold. And down. That's 6. 2 more. Up and hold. And down. Up and hold. This is 7. Last one. Up and hold. Last one on this side. Up and hold. And down. That's 8. Well done. Well done. Put the weights down. Give yourself a little bit of a rest. If you haven't done those exercises before, you are certainly going to feel it. Don't worry, we're going to do a very decent warm down after this. I certainly need it. So don't you worry. Okay, the next one is lateral raises. So as we've done before, what we're going to do here is your feet hip width apart, and then slight bend again with your hips. Not a massive, overly dramatic bend, but the most important thing here for today is what I want you to focus on is that you're traveling up with your elbows. Okay, so up with the elbow. All right, so we're not traveling up with the weight, we're traveling up with the elbow. Up with the elbow, like that, okay? All right, so let's grab some more weight. There we go. Get yourself into the right position. Slight bend here, nothing massive. Put your dumbbells to the sides here, so palms are facing your legs. And then what we're going to do, slowly raise them up for 1. Down. 2. Down. 3. Down. 4. Down. 5. Down. 6. Woo. And down. 7. Up and down. Last one. 8. Come on, let's make this count. Hold it and down. Well done. Put those down. Brilliant work. Okay. So the last one, always save the best one to last, will be the reverse fly. So this is going to work on the rear delts. If you put your hand over your shoulder here, you might feel that these parts of your shoulder, the front delt, the side delt, and even the rear delt are getting very warm. That's a good thing. It means that we're working it. Okay, so 20 seconds, just shake it all off, get yourself all composed, get yourself ready for this. What I'm going to do, I've done one in this way, I've done one in this way, I'm going to do one head on, okay? But you know the form. If you get confused, please pause it, go back, and then re-watch the first 2. Okay, so grab the dumbbells. Get yourself in a position. Remember, hinging with the hips here, 45, about 70 degrees. Bring those dumbbells together. Okay, we're going to go for 8. 1. And down. 2. And down. 3. And down. Crush that walnut. 4. And down. 5. And down. Whoo! Come on, you can do it. 6. And down. 7. And down. Whoo! Last one, make this count. 8. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and down. Well done. Wow. Okay, that was tough. That was tough going. Move the torture devices, these dumbbells, to one side. That is the exercise portion. We're now going to crack on and get into our warm down. So before we start, make sure that you bring in some water. If you need to, rehydrate yourself. It's always important to do that. What I want to try and do with these fitness classes is just give everyone the opportunity to just have time to just bring their heart rate down. I have a heart condition. It's very important for me to do that. And also to bring on some water on board. This isn't about me. This is about you guys. So, okay. let's start by just putting our hands together like this. And we're going to rotate those wrists again. Unwind those wrists, changing those directions. Rotate the elbows. Back again. I know we did this on the warm up, but it's always good to do these dynamic stretches as well. And then big shoulder rotations. Whoa. Can you feel it in your shoulders? Change direction. Woo. Okay. Bring your hands up to the ceiling. Looking through the triangle that you've made in your hands. You're going to push, try and imagine you're pushing that ceiling away from you. Really push it up. Okay, then release. And then hinge with your hips as you go all the way down. If you feel anything in your lower back as you were doing those exercises, this is a good time to stretch that out. Try and get your hands as close to the ground as possible. Okay. Bring our hands all the way up to the sky again. This time we're going to lift them outwards and upwards like this. Put the hands together. Move your feet inwards so they are closer together. And this time, instead of just pushing up, we're going to push to the side, okay? So we're going to bend to the side and push. And you should feel it all the way down here. Bring it back to the middle. Push it to the next side. Okay, bring it back to the middle. Final push to the ceiling. Okay. Bring your hands in front of you. Okay, let's put one hand to one arm to one side and then grab it with the elbow like so. Just in front of the elbow. And then look to the other direction and then pull that shoulder across. Okay, changing arms now. Okay, next things we're going to do, we're going to sit on the floor. Get yourself comfortable on the floor. What I'm going to do, put one hand on one side on the floor here. The other hand, we go all the way up to the sky. We're going to try and get our thumb behind our head. So we're not in front of us. We are sort of in line with the ear, if not behind. And we're going to rotate and go all the way, stretch all the way up onto the other side. There we go. And then bring it back. Changing direction. So with the other hand now, this goes all the way up. And a slight bend. Okay, from here, Still sat on the ground. We're going to have one arm behind and we're going to push down with the elbow. Okay, bring it back. Changing arms. Okay, from here, we're going to have our elbows to the sides of us. And we're going to slowly pulse backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as we do this, we are bringing our back shoulder blades together. Our back shoulder blades, you don't have front shoulder blades. Your shoulder blades are going together, going in as you're doing this. Okay, sitting nice and comfortably now, we're going to do some rotations of the face and the neck. Okay, so staring right at me, we're going to look straight to the ceiling. Straight to the front. We're going to rotate to one side, so look all the way to one side. Straight back to the front. Make sure that your back is nice and straight when you're doing this. Rotate to the other side. Back to the front. Can you feel any difference in tension between the sides of your traps? Okay, looking down now. Looking all the way to the ceiling. So chin all the way up. Put your head back in front. And then we're going to do some very small, to begin with, rotations. So we're going to start really small. Just sort of circling. If you imagine you've got a pencil poking out of your chin, you're making really small circles. Change direction. And then slowly change direction. Make them bigger. Change direction. Change direction. Much bigger. Get a good rotation going. Change direction. We're now doing like a dinner plate size. Change direction. And now we're doing a full rotation. Change direction. Okay, from here we're looking straight forward. We want to look up to that corner. And now we want to look straight to the floor in this angle. I'm going to bring this up to look up to the corner of that ceiling there. And then now we want to look to the floor in this corner. So this is going to stretch out the side of your neck here. Okay, coming forward. Well done, everybody. Come a little bit closer to you. Well done. That was a real tough workout. And remember, if you're finding yourself swinging in any of those routines where you're not actually leading, you're not actually controlling the weight is controlling you, then that is a surefire sign that your weight is too heavy. Okay, these exercises are supposed to be for low weights. Do not try and convince yourself that you go to a gym and you see some meathead doing these with huge weights. They all started here. Okay, so please don't worry that you're not using huge weights at the moment. there's no ego lifting involved with these classes, so please don't worry about that. So thank you ever so much for watching, and if you've got any questions or comments or suggestions, then I'm happy to hear all about that. Leave your comments in the comment section below, or hook me up on a DM. I do this on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook, so any of those are good. At the moment it's peterfisher.life, but I'm thinking about changing that handle very soon. But before I go, I just want to say thank you ever so much for joining. It's been a pleasure doing these exercises with you all. And next week, we're going to go back to the Monday, the Wednesday, and the Friday, as we've done before. Monday, we're going to probably do some leg. Wednesday, we're going to probably do some core. And Friday we'll do something to do with upper body. Haven't quite worked out what we're going to do yet, but do look at, keep yourself posted on the socials and on the stories, because I post what I'm going to do in a few days prior to what I'm actually going to do. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next fitness class. Cheers. Bye bye.